like to talk to you about purpose. So many people are living a life without purpose, hopeless lives without purpose, not even knowing that they have a life's purpose. But I'm here to tell you today that you do have a purpose and God does have a plan for your life. Now, usually when I ask people, what is your life's purpose? A lot of them tell me, I don't have a life's purpose. And I tell them I beg to differ. God would not create you without giving you a purpose. You have a purpose, and not only do you have a purpose, but your purpose is tied to someone else's purpose. Therefore, if you're not doing what God has called you to do, somebody else is going lacking. And it's so important to show you and to tell you and to teach you and to coach you through finding your life's purpose so that others may be blessed, others may be empowered, and that you may do your purpose and live your life in such a way that God gets all the glory. Because that's what it's all about, right? The first step to finding your purpose is to discover your gifts, your talents, and your abilities. Everybody has a gift, a talent, or ability. Sometimes people will downplay your gifts, talents, and abilities because why? They don't know that they have some themselves. But nonetheless, you still shine. Do not ever dim yourself down so that somebody else can shine. Don't ever dumb yourself down so someone else can be smart. Because God in His Word tells us to let your light shine so that men can see your good works, so that your Father in heaven will be glorified. So that's what it's all about. It's not about us. It's all about God getting the glory so that we can be His workmanship and show His love to one another. Now, as far as purpose is concerned, you knew at one point what your purpose was. You knew because we come here, we're born knowing our God-given purpose. And I used to wonder about that because when I was little, I can remember always wanting to be a psychologist. I didn't really know what a psychologist was, but I knew that they helped people. I knew that they counseled people. And I knew that they helped people find their way when they seemed to be lost. So when I had children, I began to vow to myself that I would watch my children and I would see what they would naturally gravitate towards, and I would begin to foster that. That's where the Bible comes in, and He talks about train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Some of us think that's about whipping your kids, and some of us think that's about just throwing the Bible at them. But no, we see gifts and talents in our children all the time. Speaking of watching our children and training them up in the way that they should go, my son, he's 4 years old, just made 4. He would play the drums. And I told Ken, I said, he's a drummer. And it's no coincidence that he plays music because music is in our family. I sing, he plays. It just comes natural. Not one lesson, not one, I'm making you play the drums, none of that. He has practice in his room. He puts on his music and he does it on his own. That's something that gives him joy. To see him play the drums, I can tell that his spirit is free. I can tell that he is not playing for an audience because nobody has to be around. He plays because it brings him joy. So you find that thing that gives you joy, that gift, that talent, that ability that God has given you. You find that, you grab a hold of that, and you perfect that gift, talent, and ability. Now the second thing would be you find your passion. Now sometimes we have gifts, talents, and abilities that we're not necessarily passionate about. There are plenty of things that I can do, and there's plenty of things that people ask me to do. Johmy, could you do my eyelashes? Johmy, could you do my hair? Johmy, could you do my makeup? Johmy, could you make me over? Can you revamp me? I can do all those things. I enjoy doing it, but there's nothing that gives me freedom than telling you about your God-given purpose. That's how I know what my passion is. That's how I know what my purpose is, because I can do all these different things. I can run a learning center. I have a CDA. I have a license to be a minister. I'm ordained. I can marry people. I can do funerals. I can do, all that stuff. But my thing is, if I can get you to know your purpose, I can get you to have meaning in life, and you can touch so many people, and your life will begin to take on a whole nother meaning. That's what I want to do today, and that's why I'm here today, to open up your mind, for you to have a paradigm shift, that you will know that I am here for a purpose, and nobody's going to stop me from fulfilling it.